Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So today, as you can tell from this setting, I'm going to be doing a more comfy video. So today I'm going to be talking to you about my art insecurities that I have, as well as looking some of the art insecurities you guys might have and try to work on them and grow as more confident artists together. I feel like a problem that a lot of artists have is that they just seem to never like their art, and I still fall into this sometimes, even though I've gotten much better. So hopefully this video can make you feel a little bit better about yourselves. Today I'm also joined with my penguin because it's scientifically proven that penguins make you feel happier. Don't Google it because I came up with that scientific fact, which is 100% accurate and true, and I came up with that study. Yeah. So I hope this video makes you feel better, and yeah, I just want to provide a comfy spot for artists, I guess. And if you want more comfy spots, you can check out my Discord. We're a pretty comfy server, I hope. So this video will be split into different topics that I used to be really bothered about, and I probably still am, but probably less, because I've really tried to work on my confidence this past few years and trying to increase my ever so low self-esteem. And I think I've finally come to a point where I like my art, and I would say that I am very proud of myself as an artist, and I hope you guys can achieve this too. It's not about comparing yourself to other people, it's comparing yourself to your past self, which is our first topic, which is comparing yourself to other artists. I feel like a lot of artists would subconsciously or consciously compare themselves to other people whenever they see artwork in general, and especially because of social media, we're exposed to way more things we wouldn't have seen if there was not internet. So in one hand, I am very happy that the internet exists because YouTube, and that's also how I kind of learn a lot about the world, is through the internet. But at the same time, it can be kind of scary. I know I'm not that old. I'm pretty young as well. I'm not even an adult yet. 17, the very good number. Not an indirect plug, by the way. Carrot bong. You guys love the comfortness of the carrot bong. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, even though I'm not that old myself, I kind of feel like there are so many people that are younger than me that are better. Oh, I actually saw this video recently on YouTube. It was about like the ageism in the artist community, and it was talking about how like there's kind of like this talking about how people will look down upon younger artists because they're not taking us seriously, but also a lot of younger artists are really good, and that kind of like makes you feel untalented. Even though I am not that old myself, I still see a lot of artists that are younger and way more talented than me, and sometimes, not gonna lie, that scares me quite a bit because I feel like I'm young too. Why are there even younger people? But at the same time, it's kind of like you don't know the background of that specific artist. They may have been drawing for a really long time. I've been practicing every day, and you may have just started 2 years ago. Then obviously the person that will be younger will be better than you. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. And another thing is, I did this when I was young too. I kind of hated growing up. When you're young, the public will kind of have lower expectations for you're young compared to when you're older. So as you age, the expectations get higher, and I was kind of afraid of that. Like I remember when I was like 13, I didn't want to be 14 because I just felt like people would expect more from me, and I wasn't improving at the same rate as my age. and that kind of scared me a bit. But then again, you look back, there are a lot of people who started art late and turned out great. Like, not everyone's been drawing since they were a fetus. It depends on your own journey, and I feel like a really bad thing just in society in general is associating age with like a certain skill level when those two things they shouldn't even like correlate at all, and let alone be the causation. You know, like correlation doesn't mean causation, and it's definitely not the cause, and the causation is the amount of years you put into a certain ability. Like, for example, like, this is kind of outside of drawing, but I do dance, right? I used to be let's just say not as good as now, or I mean, like, I didn't have control of my body, let's just say that. And if you look back, there were so many younger dancers. They're super good, and back then, and I was also like, wow, I'm like 15 and these like 10-year-olds are dancing way better than me. But obviously, because like those 10-year-olds have been dancing since they were like one. I started dancing when I was like 15, 14, so obviously they would be better than me. So if you put that into the same perspective, then it's okay to be behind on things, because everyone's journey is different. Everyone's start and end point are a different point, so you can't really compare that. And I know it's really hard to like ingrain it in your head, but sometimes you just kind of have to keep telling yourself that, because a lot of the things I'm telling you guys, I'm also always trying to remind myself, because it's not like once you think about, oh, okay, I'm happy now, I like my art today, and I'll like it forever, but that's not the case. A lot of times you will kind of track back to your old habits of being pessimistic again, and it's not like once you become optimistic you'll be optimistic forever. It's kind of like a work in progress on staying positive and giving yourself that growth mindset. So just always remind yourself, or just always come back to this video. I'm always here for you. This video is always here for you, unless YouTube like deletes its platform or something. So yeah, that's the first point. The second point is, a lot of you guys think you're not improving. I feel like everyone, if you practice, you are improving. Maybe you just don't see it because it's like baby, tiny little steps. But if you like put it on a long-term scale, then you definitely improve. Okay, this is not related, but here's an analogy, right? So like, take my subscriber count, right? Something that I always think is like, I'm not growing, because if you look at my YouTube analytics, it's kind of like it looks like a plateau, and it looks like there's no slope. But if you look very closely, it's like slightly going a little bit up each day. Maybe the slope is not very steep and it's very shallow, but there's still improvement and still increasing. So just keep that in mind. If you look back 1 year ago, like, even though my channel's kind of been like stuck in the zone, kind of like not as a lot as traction that I used to get, but compared to a year or 2 years ago, I was at like 10k subscribers 2 years ago, and that compared to now is like a lot, even though I may not necessarily feel like it's growing. So that is one analogy. This is for social media as well, because I know a lot of artists do social media as well, but I'll get that to a next point. So as I was saying, that's how you should feel your improvement, is that it's baby steps each day, but when you look on it on a larger scale, then there is improvement. Like, trust me, look at your art from 2 years ago. There has to be improvement. Like, you cannot tell me you think there's no improvement, because there is. And even if you think there isn't, one artwork isn't going to show your whole technical ability, because maybe, especially as beginner artists, you maybe are only familiar with drawing one thing compared to another. So obviously when you draw another, then it looks like you deprove. But no, you just starting from another point and trying to work your way up like you did with another thing. So kind of look at it that way. Another thing is to make sure that you're improving the right way. Okay, this is not a really... I don't want to delve into art tips, because I already have our tips videos out there, so if you want to see to improve, you can click my playlist in somewhere in the description, or yeah, make sure that you're practicing the most efficient way, as in like maybe, okay, say you do put in all the hours, like you're putting in 40 hours a day. If you know that reference, you're cool. If you're practicing 40 hours a day and then you see another person that's practicing like 5 hours a day and they're doing way better than you, maybe there's something in your practicing routine that you're doing wrong, and maybe there are things that you should change. My mom always told me to work smart, not hard, because like if I worked hard, I would be burnt out and very demotivated. I mean, I do work hard, but as in if I only work hard but not work smart. So figure out ways in your routine that you may have been doing wrong in your practicing routine, such as I actually have a lot of art tips explaining how I improved to the level I am today, and I don't want to repeat myself, so you guys can just watch those when you're done. Yeah. So that's about practicing, and I hope that helped. The third thing is thinking or not getting enough recognition about your art. Like, boy, like, trust me, I had a rocky start too. Like, okay, even now, it may seem like I have a lot of followers. I have a huge following, 100,000 subs, yay, like my play button, which is up there, which I'm too lazy to get. Like, those seem like a lot, but those are just artificial things. Like, you need to understand that. Like, story time with Sakuraopal. So a lot of you guys probably came from my art tips I would like to tell my beginner self, I think that's what it's called, video. And honestly, I have no idea why that video is getting like, I don't even know why it's over 1 million. Like, what is happening? I've never expected any of my videos to get 1 million. Anyways, okay, so when that video really started to blow up, I was getting so much sudden attention to my channel that I never expected, and that kind of, I don't know, that made me kind of scared in a way. Like, I mean, I was happy that my number was growing as I see it. Like, it went from like 20k to like 40k in like a span of a few, or like 1 week, I don't remember. It was just a lot, but the amount of pressure I saw with just the sudden influx of comments, as well the influx on my Discord server, just all at you at once, that kind of blow up isn't as glamorous as you think. A lot of people think, oh my god, when I blow up, life is gonna be so great. I remember thinking about that too before I blew up, and then when it happened, that really hit me. This is a word in Chinese called 方应大悟, which means like, I realized, like, I like snapped to my senses and realized, yeah. And that mean, and I realized that nothing really changes. Like, yeah, you might just get more likes on your next video, more views in your next video, maybe you get some sponsorship opportunities, but at the end, nothing about you changes. Your status doesn't suddenly go like, pew, elevated. It's at the end, and you won't just randomly be satisfied with yourself either, because I always thought when I hit 100,000, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like so happy. But that's often not the case. When you achieve another following milestone, all you want to do is to gain more. It's kind of like a hunger, like desire, always sucking and wanting for more. And it's like a parasite, basically. It's like, it's feasting on for more and you can't stop. And the more you get, the kind of more addicting it gets either. So that's what you need to keep in mind, is that it's not that glamorous getting so many more likes. I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for my followers, of course, because I obviously am. I feel like for me, I've stopped caring more about like the views I'm gonna get, because I've always been kind of like very insecure about my views, like especially the ratio of my videos to my views. I mean, my subscribers to my views, like, it's not really good. And I'm always like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But sometimes you're not the one that's doing wrong. It's YouTube or Instagram or whatever social media platform's algorithm. Your artwork is not defined by these like made up numbers. And like, how so? Like, so what if you get like 5 million views? If your art is technically, if your art level is bad, then your art technical skill is bad. Like, 5 million views wouldn't automatically make your art technique abilities like skyrocket or something like that. That was a thing off my chest. I guess I had built up frustration against these things too. For me, I guess like why you would want to have like a follower base is more for the community and people you interact with, but that doesn't necessarily have to be like a huge amount of numbers. Like, you can have a small group of close friends, and that might actually even be better than having like a big group of people that you're not close with. And that's also something to keep in mind. Shameless self-promo again, but my Discord, if you would like to make some art friends, and if you don't have any, you can go check that out. We're very kind, or at least I'd like to say that we are very kind and supportive. Anyways, another thing, maybe you want like the satisfaction of like someone. Okay, another thing I wanted to say is likes doesn't make you really that satisfied, and as I said before, once you hit a certain number, you kind of have your expectations get higher and higher. If you want recognition, maybe just show your artwork to your friends and go like, oh my god, do you like it? And most of the time your friends will probably like it and be supportive because they're your friends, and those are ways to get recognition as well. It's not always through likes and followers. It's also about like just communicating with your friends. Like, before, I didn't have a large following too, but since I had friends that I could show my artwork to and they seemed to like it, or I would show it to like my mom, my sister, and they said I was good, and that just made me happy. And yeah, I know being an artist online is kind of hard, especially in the beginning. Like, how do you start to get traction to your accounts, things like that? Honestly, it's all down to luck. Really don't think that it's your technical ability or whatever. I know so many so freaking talented artists, but then they also don't have a high following, and that's perfectly fine. Their art is perfect the way it is, and you don't need some stupid number to tell you that it's good. So your art is good. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay. Okay. The next artist insecurity I had was only able to draw in a certain style. So I used to only be able to draw in like anime and My Little Ponies. Like, I stopped drawing ponies, so let's just get out of the way. I could only draw in anime style, and I was so self-conscious, especially if I was like showing to my art to like an art teacher or a professor, because I was scared they'd be like, oh my god, what the heck, she's drawing anime, ew, disgusting. But often you should be proud of yourself for just being able to draw. Honestly, drawing is hard. Like, sometimes as you're an artist and you've been like drawing for like a few years, you think like, oh my god, drawing in arts, I can only draw in like an anime style, or I can only draw in realism. But that's one more style you can do more than you could not do before. Oh my god, that rhymes. Yo, I can rap. Okay, anyways, another thing is, yeah, like maybe having an anime style isn't as original as others, but you can still draw in a style, and that's saying enough. And honestly, a lot of people like anime styles, maybe just not your teachers or visual art teachers, but it's still it's still an acceptable style, and it's not any valueless than other styles. But you should also improve in that, because after I started practicing in more styles, I just learned about art so much more. Again, check out my art tips playlist if you're interested. But yeah, so I hope that helps you. Okay, the fifth art insecurity is that I suck at anatomy. This brings back so much memories. I remember back in the days, I was gonna make it like a reference, but I couldn't think of any. But anyways, back in the day, I was so bad at anatomy. Like, honestly, we've all been there. Like, every artist has struggled with anatomy. We've all hid those hands behind the back. We've all put those hands in the pockets. We've all drew with the bangs covering one side of the eye. We all only drew headshot up or bust up because we did not want to draw the whole body. Like, we've all been there, okay? And it's fine. If you're a beginner, obviously you wouldn't be good at drawing anatomy because it is super hard and it takes a lot of freaking time to get used to drawing bodies, human bodies, animal bodies, anything. Honestly, if you want to get better at anatomy, I really, really, really strongly recommend figure drawing and also studying the skeleton and doing a lot of practices with poses. You can find a lot on like Pinterest or just online. There are a lot of resources. I'm planning to make a video on that, by the way. So if you think you suck at anatomy, firstly, you don't have to post the art that you think you're bad at. You can just do it self for practice, just every day in your sketchbook. Like, try drawing a human body or something. That sounds like they're dead. Like, human body. Well, you can just try drawing human anatomy every single day, and surely you'll see improvement. As I said in my previous point, yeah, and honestly, there is no quick shortcut to like suddenly get anatomy. One thing though, I do not want anyone to stick to their comfort zone because they're like, oh, I'm bad at drawing hands, so I'm never going to draw hands. That is bad. Do not do that, because that you'll never be able to draw hands if you think about it that way. So like, another thing is that you always think the art you do has to be perfect every single time, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I've learned this from experience. Like, I have so many artworks that I've drawn. I'm like, are you kidding? I spent like 3 hours on this and this looks so trash. I hate it. Why doesn't it look as good as I imagined? And then, yeah, well, like, we all have good days and bad days. Like, there's a good hair day and a bad hair day. The same goes for art. Not every day is gonna be perfect, okay? And another thing is you might think other artists always draw perfectly each time. Number one, they probably practice really, really hard, so they have less bad days than good days. And secondly, they probably wouldn't even post the art that they think it's bad, so they may give off the impression that they have like every single art of theirs is good, but that's not always the case. Like, even me, like, there's so many bad days, and like I would like try to cover up in my sketchbook or like glue the sketchbook pages together or like just hide it in my folder as like a working in my whip folder that will never be opened again, but it's still there. We all have bad days and it's okay. Okay, so the next insecurity is thinking that you're not good enough, which kind of ties into all the points, I guess, because this is like the general overarching theme, I guess, is just thinking you're bad and you're trash. You're not. Obviously, like, you're not. Like, oh my god, this is something, it's like a trap. I feel like everyone falls for this. They think that they're trash, but the more you think you're trash, like, the more you're putting yourself down, then, like, the less you're showcasing yourself. And as an artist, you kind of have to always showcase yourself, because, like, we're artists. So, like, please stop saying you do. A lot of people think that they're trash, but they're really talented. Like, obviously, when you start, obviously, you're not gonna be good. You're not gonna be good. So, like, don't expect yourself to be good. If you have low expectations, then you'll be fine. Honestly, like, you guys are not trash. If you guys don't know, I do read my comments most of the time, and oh my god, I hate, it's like, oh my god, I can't explain how frustrated I get when I see these comments like, oh my gosh, she's 17, I'm 18, but all I do is be on my bed and sleep, and I'm so trash compared to her, I feel so useless, or stuff like that. Or like, oh my gosh, she's so good, I'm so trash. Firstly, that's not how you compliment someone. Like, stop degrading yourself to give other people compliments. That is not good. I hate this so much. Stop. Like, obviously, like, I know you're trying to mean good, but obviously it makes me more frustrated than happy, because people should stop being like, stop putting yourself down. Like, why are you putting yourself down? If you can't tell, I'm kind of like mad because this is what I used to do, and like that destroyed my self-esteem so hard. I just kept giving myself self-degrading things. I don't know if you guys know, but I feel like the more self-deprecating jokes you say, like, even if it's funny, it's gonna destroy your self-esteem, because that's what I did. Like, yes, I'm so funny, I'm such a funny person, but I lost my self-esteem because of it, and I want to tell you, it's not worth it. It is not worth it to be funny than destroying your self-esteem. Okay, oh my god. Okay, sorry, that was a big rant out of the way. It's just, you guys deserve to treat yourselves better. I know a lot of you guys are younger than me, which is why I like telling you guys my past mistakes, I guess, in a way. But like, I just wish people would. There's just so much negativity in this world. You know, like recently I've been reading the news and anything on media, and I've just been so frustrated about the world. Why are we all so pessimistic? Especially Gen Z. Why is Gen Z so pessimistic? Like, why? Like, why is that our culture? We all deserve better. I don't know if you guys heard of this, but basically, you should treat yourself. You should be nice to yourself like you're nice to other people. Like, for example, the penguin here's like, oh my god, here's my art, yay! And I'm like, oh my god, it's so good, right? But when you make your art to yourself, why do you say, oh my god, it's so ugly, Veda, get that out of my face. I'm so bad, this is so bad. Like, why do we do that? I feel like you should treat yourself better than you should treat yourself like how you would treat your friends, right? Like, why are you so mean to yourself? I know it's very hard to just change overnight. This took a lot of time for me too. It's just, you need to stand up for yourself, because if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. And this is what I learned from my experience of being human. Like, I don't know if you watch my face reveal video. I let those very mean classmates of mine talk stuff behind my back, and then I started thinking I was ugly, and then I started not want to show my face ever. I stopped taking pictures, whatnot. I don't like looking in the mirror. But like, why did I let myself do that? Like, honestly, I should have been like, oh, I was gonna like say a line from Boozy's Ruby, I don't give a okay. Anyways, don't listen to other people and listen to yourself. And if yourself is mean to yourself, then you should treat yourself like how you would treat your friends. And yeah, it's really hard to suddenly like change overnight. I know it's really hard to do that, but it comes with time. And I promise, just the first thing to do to stop doing this is to like, every time you're the self-deprecating joke is coming out of your mouth, like, stop yourself. Just don't say it out loud. Because the more you say it, the more you manifest it. So, like, don't say it. Just 闭嘴. What is that in English? Like, close your mouth. Okay? Just shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. I don't know if this is just like a Gen Z thing, but we kind of think like suffering is like quirky. Like, does that even make sense? I feel like it does. It's like, we're like, oh my god, haha, I didn't sleep for like 2 days, haha, look at me, I'm so quirky, I'm so cool. Like, I'm like, honestly, when people like tell me they didn't sleep, I'm just like, go sleep, what the heck? Like, it's not like flattering in any way. And to be honest, I feel like your health deserves priority. Like, why are you making yourself suffer? It's one thing to push yourself for yourself to improve, but it really is another thing if you're just straight up suffering and for no reason. Like, just don't cause yourself unnecessary stress or harm to your body or your mental health. You really don't need it, even though you might seem like quirky, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, this is like kind of turning into a life rant. Oops. I mean, like, you guys are drawing anyway, so you wouldn't mind if this video was longer, right? Because you're probably just listening to me. By the way, comment down what you're drawing. I'd like to know, and share your art to my Discord server, because I'd like to see. Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? I forgot. Wait. Oh my god, I literally forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Can anyone remind me? Help? Why is my memory so clapped? Oh! The biggest life regret I guess I had was like not putting myself out there and being so mean and so insecure about myself. Like, I mean, like, sometimes it doesn't like even matter at the end. Like, there are so many chances where I missed out on just because I didn't volunteer because I thought I wasn't good enough. Like, I'm sure there were so many, like, because, like, you know, I go to school obviously, so I back in the day, there were so many opportunities for me to like step up and like design things for other people or draw for other people or like start my own drawing club, but I just never did it because I thought I was trash. But I could have done it either way. Like, even if I was trash, it's good to volunteer yourself so you can get the experience so you'll be less trash. So it's kind of like putting it that way, and that's like something I really regret. So I just want this video for everyone to start liking themselves and their art more, because we don't deserve this much negativity. Like, we're already probably stressed because of school or work, and like, I don't know, is it just me or like there's just so much pressure nowadays of like everything, yet there's so many expectations you need to fulfill. And I don't know, like right now especially, I'm at a time where we're all senior students. Like, obviously, luckily I already got my acceptance letters and those are unconditional offers, but like those, my friends, especially doctors and lawyers, they're literally dying over grades. Like please, you. And it's kind of sad because they really need those grades. Like, they need the 45 out of 45. Like, they can't even lose a single point because that's how stressed, how competitive life is now. And that's just sad. And I've seen so many of my friends every single day. They all look so unmotivated, so tired. Their eye bags are like massive. All we do is like lie like this on the desks, and we all look so sleepy and dead inside, and none of us look happy. But like, why are we always so sad? I just want the world to be a happier place, which is why I made this video. I want all my followers and subscribers, or I don't know, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and my viewers to just be happier. There's nothing wrong with being happy. I feel like everyone keeps talking about how sad they are. They kind of like forgot that we need to be happy too. Obviously, don't force yourself to be happy, but make your way, just be more easier on yourself and make yourself naturally more happy. And this kind of turned into a life talk. I didn't expect that. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. I hope this comforted you guys in any way. I hope you guys liked this comfy background. By the way, this pig is from the TV show I was in. It's called So basically, the plot of the show is that there's a therapist, a school counselor at the school, and then she would use this pig, and then the kids who go see her would go like, oh, I'm sad because it's like blue, and it's like this because it's red, and I think this is so cute. I just love plush toys, and I love my penguins. I actually have way more penguins than I was contemplating putting on in this video, but like there's literally no space, and I want to showcase you guys' beautiful art too. By the way, I made this for like my 100k special. It's basically all the fan art you guys made me, of you guys with me, and all the notes you guys have written me before, which is I read to make myself feel happy and get through tough times, because you guys are just so sweet, and everyone should be nice to each other, and we should all be nice, and yeah, that's it. Please take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and remember, the next time you make a self-deprecating joke or a self-degrading comment in your head, just ignore it. It's just a thought. It's not reality. And yeah, you will be great on your art journey. Just be more confident. And yeah, my penguin and I will see you. Actually, I don't know if she'll be in another video, but bye bye. See you in the next video. Oh, my penguin's gonna end the video for us. Ah, wait. Okay, I don't want to care. Okay. Bye bye.